A local Walmart reopens after a fatal stabbing. One witness's video shows the moment the suspect surrenders to security.
Plus, trauma can be a difficult subject to approach with your children. The advice for parents that one local counselor is giving.
And area residents get educated on keeping the local environment clean. What advocates say is the best way to stay green.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm David Greenberg. We're continuing to stay on top of that deadly stabbing at the Northridge Walmart that killed an 18-year-old employee and an RPS student, Jason Jenkins.
Timothy Carter is the man accused of being the killer. The 28-year-old is being held in the Winnebago County Jail. Today, Walmart reopened. Joining us live from the store is Jess Lipson. Jess, what can you tell us?
Well, Mimi, David, right behind me is the Northridge Walmart, which opened up at its regular hours of 6 a.m. this morning. That was the first time it opened up since the stabbing Sunday evening. But as you can see behind me, a security car is driving by, and it looks like a regular day for many shoppers, as you can't really notice much of a difference. That is the one security vehicle that we've been seeing since being here. Seems like pretty standard procedure for a Walmart, just like on any regular day. As for Sunday evening, many were in the store during that stabbing. One of them was Heather Reichs. When stumbling upon Timothy Carter, who was holding a knife, she took out her phone and started to record. She had no idea what had transpired just minutes before. Reichs spoke to me about what her thoughts were as she took out her phone to record.
When I saw the guy throwing the stuff down there, I saw he had the knife, and it was like he was trying to, tell them, come get it, but I was like, oh, I won't trust it with it still being in his hand. And then, and I didn't know that he had done anything at that point. I just thought it was a customer with a knife, and I'm like, I'm going to record in case something happens.
At 6 p.m., we'll have more coverage on this story, and then later tonight at 9 and 10, I'll speak with Heather about the whole thing transpiring that Sunday evening. For now, reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Jess Lipson. Back to you guys.
All right, Jess, thank you.
When a tragedy like this occurs, it can spark conversations at home, especially between parents and kids.
Yeah, it can be very tough talks for them. Andrea Baroni spoke with a local counselor to get some advice for parents. Andrea, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Mimi, David, in a situation like this, medical experts say oftentimes there's a ripple effect causing trauma, not just for those involved, but people throughout the community. And with many schools on spring break, counseling may not be available for the next few days, so some kids could turn to parents or a trusted adult for help. I talked to Kevin Polke with KP Counseling earlier today. He says the best thing for parents to do is keep an open dialogue, ask kids how they're feeling, and try not to fix a traumatic experience for them, but rather work through it with them.
Any type of phraseology that we use to kind of either minimize it or try to like fix it or make it okay, meaning like sometimes we'll do something to kind of what they refer to as silver lining it, at least, and anything that we say with that kind of phrase is probably giving an indication to the person who's talking that they're being minimized and not really being seen or heard for what they're experiencing at that moment.
Polke also encourages journaling, and when school does start up again from break, take advantage of counselors and resources there. I'll have more on these trauma response techniques coming up a little later at 6. David?
All right, Drea, thank you. Well, tonight, lawmakers are calling for sweeping reform following the resignations of 2 Illinois Prisoner Review Board members. This follows a deadly stabbing just a day after the suspected killer was granted parole. Leanne Miller and Donald Shelton are the former board members resigning. Miller was tasked with conducting the hearing for Corsetti Brown, ultimately granting him that parole. Police say the following day, Brown killed 11-year-old Jaden Perkins and critically injured Jaden's pregnant mother.
This child was failed. And I think every institution that does this work, this is a wake-up call that we need to do better.
Like a lot of people, just very angry and disturbed by the catastrophic systemic failure that this family endured.
Well, Jaden's mother had been asking for an emergency court of order of protection against Brand as recently as last month, a judge rejecting her plea.
Illinois State Police have a goal to get cadet classes made up of 30% women by 2030. The department made that 30 by 30 pledge in 2022, but the number of women signing up stayed about the same ever since at only 10%. Deputy Director Rebecca Hooks is the highest ranking woman in the agency's history. She says law enforcement agencies should look like the communities they serve.
I think what we can do in the ISP is talk about how we do have a culture of inclusivity and qualified diversity and integrity, like all of these things and all of the different career paths can meet and merge together, and letting people know that this is a wonderful career with a purpose.
Recruitment for law enforcement is down everywhere. Illinois announced last week that new troopers will earn $90,000 a year with benefits after graduating from the academy.
Well, as spring holidays approach, egg prices are near historic highs right now. The avian bird flu has been impacting the current egg market with high demand and growing costs for farmers. Prices are lower than they were this time last year. However, experts do not foresee egg prices going back to they were in 2021 when a dozen eggs was just around $1.59. The current average in the U.S. is $2.99. Well, $1 billion worth of unclaimed tax refunds from 2020 are set to expire. They belong to about 940,000 people. The last day to claim those is coming up May 17th. You'll have to submit a 2020 tax return. If you've not filed for 2021 and 2022, you'll have to submit for those as well. Average median refund that is waiting out there is about $932.
Illinois families with unspent college savings would be able to move that money into retirement savings under a plan pushed by State Treasurer Michael Frericks.
It encourages more people to save for their kids' future and allows planning for retirement as well.
Frericks is urging lawmakers to pass a bill that would allow parents who have unspent money in their Bright Start or Bright Directions college savings account to roll the funds into a Roth IRA retirement account. Passage of the bill will bring Illinois in line with federal law allowing the transfer of funds.
A local organization educates people about the importance of recycling. Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful hosting a discussion at Katie's Cup this morning. It's part of the shop's monthly conversation series, which has state line leaders talking to area residents about topics of interest. Today, KNIB discussed what materials do and do not recycle and how to get rid of those non-recyclables. Organization's Director of Education says it's important to follow the directions given on your bins.
Read what they sent you. Read the instructions. Yes, read the instructions, but just things to remember, like plastic bags do not go in your recycle bin. Just put them in without having them in a bag. Just put them in the way they are. Make sure they're clean. Make sure they're dry.
So very useful tips there. Coming up next month, Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful is holding an awards banquet to fundraise for their ongoing programs.
The U.S. Supreme Court hears arguments over an abortion case.
Up next, justices are now questioning the dispute's legality.
Then coming up at 6, a big change is coming to the heart of a state-line city. The new 20,000-foot square foot venue expected to open later this year.
Our temperatures made it to the 50s, but that was very early this morning. Colder air allowing those numbers to drop. A look at where we'll fall to tonight and when we'll see the 60s return. Coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Well, the Supreme Court is now hearing arguments that could have wide-ranging effects on access to the drug mifepristone. It's one of those widely used abortion pills in the U.S.
Today, justices question the legal standing of the case. Perry Russum is in Washington.
1,000 demonstrators by police estimates on both sides of the abortion rights issue outside the Supreme Court today. Inside, some justices appearing skeptical over the case that would alter access to the abortion drug mifepristone.
And this case seems like a prime example of turning what could be a small lawsuit into a nationwide legislative assembly on an FDA rule or any other federal government action.
The Food and Drug Administration is being sued by Alliance for Hippocratic Medicine, an anti-abortion group accusing the FDA of unlawfully easing restrictions. Justices questioning whether the group has legal standing to even bring the case.
You need a person. You need a person to be able to come in and meet the court's regular standing requirements.
Lawyers for the anti-abortion rights group claim doctors saw an increase in emergency room visits treating women who took the drug.
Without question, the FDA's actions have made taking chemical abortion drugs less safe.
Jessica Ellsworth represents the maker of mifepristone.
They fail to show under any rational legal standard why they have standing to bring this suit.
The FDA says mifepristone is safe when used as indicated and directed, with serious side effects exceedingly rare. The FDA approved the drug nearly 25 years ago, making regulatory changes years later, allowing it to be used up to 10 weeks of pregnancy instead of 7, and allowing it to be prescribed by mail.
We, on behalf of FDA, think that courts have no business making those judgments.
At least 13 protesters were arrested today. Capitol Police say they were blocking roads. A decision from the Supreme Court is expected by the end of June. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the rain showers are moving out of the state line.
Another wet day out there. After the break, Candace telling us about a warm-up over the next couple of days.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, this morning started off on the warmer, kind of muggier side, but now that chill has really set in, and you can see the flag really waving in the wind here as we take a live look with our SkyTrack camera down in Rochelle. Those winds, they have been on the stronger side, and we're still dealing with winds gusting 35, even close to 40 miles per hour, something that'll continue as we go throughout the remainder of this evening. Now, the rainfall we had from earlier today and the gustier rain showers, those have now, for the most part, come to an end. There may still be a sprinkle or a little drizzle in some spots through this evening, but what you might also notice too are a couple of flurries trying to work in on the backside of that low pressure system as our temperatures are beginning to drop. So we've got this second cold front coming in. That's really what is driving a lot of those stronger winds. Snow continues to fall up to the north, closer to where that low pressure system sits across northern Wisconsin into the UP of Michigan. That is going to continue to pull to the north and east as high pressure moving down the plains, indicated by the clear skies we have from the Dakotas, going to allow our winds to stay on the gustier side. Now, tomorrow it is breezy. It's not quite as windy as what it was today, but we're still going to be dealing with winds that are upwards of about 30 miles per hour before subsiding late tomorrow night. So again, look for another windy day, which will likely push our wind chill factors down in the teens for the start of tomorrow. And we've got some cloud cover too. Now, rainfall for today, we've had anywhere from a few hundredths of an inch up to just over a quarter of an inch. But when we look back from yesterday to today, we had almost 2 inches of rain here in Rockford. So quite a decent amount coming in. In fact, the highest rainfall we've had since last October, mid-October, when we had just over 2 inches of rain come down. So it has been a long time since we've had that much rain, and that did cause some issues, and we still have that with a lot of standing water in fields and ditches. Maybe you notice your backyard is a little more sloppy. We do have some drier time, but the chance for rain does return a little bit here going into the weekend. Now, I mentioned the winds, sustained winds from the southwest, mind you. So we still have a southwesterly wind, but it's colder out there as that cold air settles in aloft. You've got a sustained wind right now of 31 miles per hour down in Sterling. And again, those winds will be gusting close to 40 here over the next couple of hours. 38 our temperature in Rockford, 36 in Freeport. It's cold. You got a wind chill right now of 18 degrees in Galena, so plenty of chills out there, too. Quite a contrast from what we had just earlier today. Now, cloud cover, that is something that will stick with us. We hold on to the moisture here. We start to see that break up a little bit as we go throughout the day tomorrow. So Wednesday, we've got cloud cover. We'll see a return of sunshine. Still a little breezy, but by Wednesday evening, the winds will subside. Westerly winds tomorrow, so that could make travel on north-south roads a little difficult for some of the higher profile vehicles. Cloud cover, we'll see that increase to the south late Wednesday into Thursday. We are still dry on Thursday, most of Friday too. Next warm front comes in with an area of low pressure Friday night into Saturday. That could be our better chance for some heavier rainfall again with a couple rumbles of thunder. We'll dry out a little bit Saturday, Sunday, and then see that chance return as we head into early next week.
It'd be nice to see the sun sometime soon, Candace. Thanks.
For sure. Scott's in next with sports. The Bears are going to get an early jump on the NFL season this summer.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The Bears will be getting an early start to training camp and to preseason action this year. They've been selected to play in the Hall of Fame game. That's August 1st in Canton. That's a Thursday night. They'll face C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. Well, we knew this was coming the week of the Super Bowl when it was announced that 3 former Bears, Devin Hester, Steve McMichael, and Julius Peppers would be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Former Texans receiver Andre Johnson will also be one of the inductees, so the Texans are in. Now, generally, the 2 teams that play in the Hall of Fame game get to report for training camp a week earlier than everybody else does. More news has been popping out of the NFL's league meetings. Matt Eberflus told reporters how impressed he was with Caleb Williams last week at Williams Pro Day, and not just impressed by Williams' arm.
Pro Day, we went to dinner the night before with several of the players on the USC team that are draft eligible, and it was great to see him interact. The great personality, great character. I started out about an hour and 20 minutes, just him and I in the room together. And, you could see his character, his football character there, his football knowledge as I talked through that, and it was a really good visit.
Rockford native A.J. Storr had a heck of a season on the court for the Wisconsin Badgers, and it might be his only season with them. He's declared for the NBA draft, but he'll reserve the right to withdraw from the draft before it happens if he learns that he's not likely to be a first-round pick. Storr led the Badgers in scoring this season at almost 17 points per game. He was sensational during the Big Ten tournament, and he had some breathtaking dunks. He's only a sophomore. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The rain that we had from earlier today coming to an end. May still be a sprinkle or two. We've got the First Warn Interactive Radar always on mystateline.com. Temperatures for us tonight will drop down into the 20s. Those numbers are already falling through the 30s, and the wind chills right now are in the 20s. So it's a lot cooler out there from what we woke up to here this morning. Temperature tomorrow up around 43. Still going to be rather windy. We'll see a decrease in cloud cover and a little more sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. 50 on Thursday. Chance for some rain thunderstorms late Friday and then again early next week.
All right, thanks, Candace.
World News Tonight's up next. We'll see you back here at 6.